Docks Marine opens 7 days a week from 8 to 5. Sales, rental, service, all in one place. It's at Docks Marine, 5803 Eichard Ridge Road.
I'm Ralph Mangum here on the WHKY News, where it's time now for our weekly recap of some of the top crime stories that we had for you during the week of September 2nd through September 6th. Here we go.
A drug trafficker has been sentenced to a minimum prison term of more than 5 years. 44-year-old David Paul Merritt of Statesville pleaded guilty to trafficking in opium or heroin and possession with intent to sell or deliver methamphetamine. He entered the plea during the August session of Iredell County Superior Court and was sentenced to 70 to 93 months or 5 years, 10 months to 7 years, 9 months in prison. Merritt was also ordered to pay a $50,000 fine. Merritt was arrested in March 2024 when the Statesville Police Department, in collaboration with the U.S. Marshals, Carolinas Regional Fugitive Task Force, and the Iredell County Sheriff's Office, executed an operation targeting individuals involved in drug dealing within the city of Statesville. This joint effort resulted in the arrest of several individuals wanted for various drug-related crimes. Merritt was arrested on March 26th by Statesville police. At the time, he was charged with trafficking in meth by sale or delivery and possession with intent to sell or deliver meth. Merritt is serving his sentence at Foothills Correctional Institute in Morganton. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
The defendant is charged in connection to an investigation from 2023, during which police seized marijuana, fentanyl, methamphetamine, firearms, and ammunition. The defendant could spend up to just under 8 years in prison. 35-year-old Justin Lewis Ostwalt pleaded guilty to trafficking in opium or heroin and possession of a firearm by a felon, and was sentenced to 70 to 93 months or 5 years, 10 months to 7 years, 9 months in prison. He was also ordered to pay a $50,000 fine. On August 11th of 2023, deputies assigned to the Iredell County Sheriff's Office Aggressive Criminal Enforcement Team responded to an address on Dillon Drive in Statesville. Deputies learned that Justin Lewis Ostwalt, a convicted felon with outstanding warrants for arrest, lived in the home. According to a news release, when officers arrived, Ostwalt was spotted running into the residence. A woman eventually came to the door and escorted the deputies inside to search for Ostwalt. While deputies were searching in the basement, they found a large amount of marijuana as well as multiple firearms. Ostwalt was found inside a locked bathroom. During the ensuing search of the residence, deputies seized 254 grams of marijuana, 14 grams of marijuana wax, 8.14 grams of pressed fentanyl pills, and 0.01 grams of methamphetamine. 5 firearms and 300 rounds of ammunition were also seized. So a 70 to 93 month prison sentence for Justin Lewis Ostwalt of Statesville. He is serving his sentence at Foothills Correctional Institution in Morganton. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
45-year-old Reginald Curtis from Los Angeles, California, was arrested by Burke County Sheriff's deputies on August 29th on felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver a Schedule II controlled substance. At about 8 p.m. on the 29th, the deputy conducted a traffic stop for a moving violation. The driver was Reginald Curtis. During a search of the vehicle, more than 1,000 grams of meth was seized. Curtis was taken into custody and placed in the Burke County Jail under a $200,000 secured bond. At his first appearance in Burke County District Court on August 30th, Curtis's bond was modified to $500,000 secured, and a new court date was set for September 20th.
This case is from Caldwell County. Authorities there say they intercepted a package sent from the West Coast to a residence in Caldwell County. A search of the package revealed drugs, and that launched a search of the residence. When that residence was searched, more drugs were found by police. According to a news release, Caldwell County Sheriff Kevin H. Bean announced on August 27th that the Sheriff's Office ICE unit seized a shipped package from California that was intended for a residence on Marked Trail Court in Lenoir. With the assistance of a sheriff's office canine officer, narcotic agents found approximately 20 pounds of marijuana inside the seized package. That seizure led to a search of the package's intended destination. Inside the residence, narcotic agents found numerous evidentiary items important to the investigation, including 4 firearms, 2 more pounds of marijuana, and approximately 33 pounds of psilocybin edibles. The drugs seized during the investigation have a total street value of $473,510, according to North Carolina state guidelines. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office is continuing their investigation. Charges are forthcoming, according to authorities. Reporting for WHKY News, this is Rob Eastwood.
Police are investigating an armed robbery and shooting at a Statesville pharmacy. According to a news release from the Statesville Police Department, at about 2:15 Friday afternoon, Statesville Police responded to a report of an armed robbery at the CVS pharmacy at 3111 Taylorsville Highway. Upon arrival, officers found a Brinks armed transport employee inside the store, suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper torso. The investigation revealed that 2 suspects attempted to rob the guard as he exited the store and returned to his vehicle. During the confrontation, the guard was shot but managed to return fire. The suspects fled the scene in a bronze-colored Dodge Charger. The guard was transported to Iredell Memorial Hospital, where he was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information should contact the Statesville Police Department, 704-878-3406. 8-year-old Joshua Eugene Stratton of Oneida, Tennessee, was arrested by Hickory police Friday on a felony warrant as a fugitive awaiting extradition to another state. Stratton is wanted in Adams County, Ohio for strong-arm rape and rape of a victim less than 13 years of age. Following his arrest, Stratton was placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility, where he is being held without bond. A first appearance in district court was scheduled Tuesday in Newton. 35-year-old Forrest Taylor Street of Walterboro, South Carolina, has been arrested by Hickory police on a felony warrant as a fugitive awaiting extradition to another state. Street is wanted by probation and parole officers on charges out of Florence, South Carolina, for failure to report an address as a sex offender. Street was jailed Tuesday in the Catawba County Detention Facility. He is being held without bond. A first appearance in district court was scheduled Tuesday in Newton.
A suspect has been charged with assaulting a man who reportedly made inappropriate comments to the suspect's daughter. 33-year-old Casey Charles Bentley of Caldwell County was arrested Monday by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with assault inflicting serious bodily injury. Bentley was arrested following an incident at a boat ramp on Lake Hickory in the Bethlehem community. He allegedly attacked a man after the victim of the attack reportedly made inappropriate comments about Bentley's teenage daughter. The location of the incident is reported to be Wittenberg Access area. The extent of the assault led to the victim being transported to a regional medical facility with serious injuries. Sheriff Chad Pennell said Monday afternoon that no weapon was involved and the suspect has been cooperative with the investigation. As of Monday afternoon, Bentley was no longer listed in custody. Earlier, a $75,000 bond had been set for Bentley. Stay tuned to WHKY for updates on this case. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
According to authorities, the suspect in this case has been arrested on drug charges on multiple occasions over the last 11 years leading up to last week's arrest. In this case, officers searched a home and reportedly found fentanyl, then charged the suspect with felony drug counts. The suspect has a court date scheduled later this month. 59-year-old Thomas Joseph Jenkins of Oak Hill Drive in Morganton was arrested last Thursday by Burke County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with felony counts of possession of Schedule II controlled substance, with that substance being fentanyl, and maintaining a dwelling for controlled substance. On Thursday, the North Carolina Department of Adult Corrections, Department of Probation and Parole conducted a probationary search of Thomas Jenkins at an address on Oak Hill Drive in Morganton. The search was conducted after a death that occurred at the residence over the previous weekend. In addition to the death, there have been numerous citizen complaints about suspicious activities originating from the residence. Probation officers requested the aid of the Burke County Sheriff's Office and the North Carolina Department of Prisons State K-9 to assist them in conducting their search. During that search, officers and investigators found drug paraphernalia scattered throughout the home. A plastic bag containing a white powdery substance was found, and the contents tested positive for fentanyl. Bond was set at $15,000 secured, and a court date was scheduled for September 19th. According to the Burke County Sheriff's Office, since 2013, Jenkins has been arrested on drug charges on 5 previous occasions. Those arrests were made in 2013, 2020, 2021, 2022, and last year. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Jr. of Low Ranch Road in Catawba was sentenced today to 235 months in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release for trafficking methamphetamine. The announcement was made by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina, who was joined by Hickory Police Chief Reed Baer and others. According to filed court documents and court proceedings, in 2022, in the course of an investigation into Fish's drug trafficking activities, Hickory Police utilized a confidential informant to conduct a series of controlled purchases of meth from Fish. On 2 occasions in April 2022, the informant purchased a total of 158.7 grams of meth. In May 2022, officers stopped Fish's vehicle and found 4 packages containing more than 131 pounds of meth in total. On April 3rd of this year, Fish pleaded guilty to distribution of methamphetamine. Fish has an extensive criminal history in North Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. He's currently in federal custody and will be transferred to the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons upon designation of a federal facility. The ATF and the Hickory Police Department investigated the case, while the U.S. Attorney. 42-year-old Maurice Antoine Johnson of Eastside Drive in Statesville was arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's officers Monday on felony counts of trafficking in methamphetamine by possession and by transport, possession of meth, and maintaining a vehicle for a controlled substance, along with a misdemeanor count of possession of drug paraphernalia. Johnson, who is a registered sex offender, was arrested at about 4:20 Monday afternoon when a deputy saw a vehicle turning onto the Salisbury Highway from Industrial Drive. The deputy recognized the driver, Maurice Antoine Johnson, from previous interactions and was aware of his history involving illegal drug possession. As the deputy turned his patrol car around, Johnson quickly turned into a convenience store parking lot and exited his vehicle. The deputy approached Johnson and, during the conversation, inquired about the status of his driver's license. Johnson admitted that he did not have a valid license. While confirming Johnson's information, an additional officer and K-9 Wilbur were called to assist. The dog gave a positive indication to the presence of illegal narcotics in the vehicle. A probable cause search was conducted, which led to the discovery of approximately 926 grams or 2 pounds of crystal meth. Johnson, who was already out on bond on previous charges, was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center without bond. He'll appear in district court on the latest charges on September 23rd. An arrest on multiple sex offense charges leads off this report on a pair of Burke County.
A woman was arrested for obtaining property by false pretense. 35-year-old Briota Pringle of Scroggs Street in Lenoir was arrested on Saturday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with felony counts of conspiring to obtain property by false pretense and forgery of an instrument. Pringle was jailed under no bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She was scheduled to appear in court on September 4th. A man who authorities say killed a cat has been charged with animal cruelty. 25-year-old Grayson Alexander Gregg of Mooresville was arrested Wednesday by Mooresville police officers. He He's charged with felony cruelty to animals. Wednesday at approximately 12:30 a.m., Mooresville police responded to a welfare check call for service. Upon arriving on scene, officers were advised that the suspect had killed the reporting party's cat by punching it in the head. Officers reviewed interior video camera footage provided by the reporting party and saw multiple instances of the suspect punching, restraining by body weight, and otherwise incapacitating the cat in question. The cat did not survive its sustained injuries. Greg was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center under a $5,000 secured bond. He remained in jail as of earlier today. Greg is scheduled to appear in district court on September 25th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A Lenoir man is charged with breaking, entering, and larceny. 23-year-old Robert Terrell Russo of Wilson Street in Lenoir was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 6 felonies, 2 counts of breaking and entering to an automobile, larceny of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and larceny. Russo was jailed under a $122,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for September 18th. A Lenoir man was arrested for speeding to elude arrest. 37-year-old Dustin Brian Weinbarger of Mystery Trail Lane in Lenoir was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, speeding to elude arrest. Weinbarger was also charged with misdemeanor counts of larceny, resisting, delaying, or obstructing a public officer, possession of stolen property, driving while license revoked, speeding, and reckless driving to endanger. Weinbarger was jailed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under $53,560. He is scheduled to appear in district court on September 12th and October 2nd. And a woman is charged.
The incident occurred here at Wittenberg Access Area in Alexander County. The assault reportedly occurred after the victim in this case allegedly made inappropriate comments to the suspect's daughter. The suspect was initially charged with assault. The victim has since passed away, and that charge was upgraded to murder. The suspect is being held in Taylorsville at the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. A court date is scheduled Monday. 33-year-old Casey Charles Bentley of Lenoir has been charged with murder. The charge was filed by the Alexander County Sheriff's Office. He was initially charged with assault inflicting serious bodily injury, as we previously reported here on WHKY. On Monday, September 2nd at around 1 p.m., the Alexander County 911 Communications Center received a call regarding an assault at Wittenberg Access. Deputies and first responders arrived on the scene to find the victim, 55-year-old Kenneth Young of Lenoir, with apparent head injuries. Young was transported to Fry Regional Medical Center, then to Baptist Hospital, where he has since passed away from injuries sustained in the assault. The Alexander County Sheriff's Office conducted an investigation into the assault. Several teenagers were at a gathering in Alexander County where alleged inappropriate comments were made from Young to Bentley's teenage daughter. Bentley came to pick up his daughter at the residence. At that time, Young was not present. Bentley later found Young here at Wittenberg Access loading a boat. A verbal altercation occurred between Young and Bentley, which police say led to Bentley assaulting Young. Bentley was not at the scene when deputies arrived. He was later arrested. Bentley's bond was initially set at $75,000. Since the charge was upgraded to murder, Bentley is now being held in the Alexander County Detention Center without bond. A district court appearance is scheduled for Monday. Reporting from the Wittenberg Access Area in Alexander County, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
A search of a home has led to the seizure of drugs and an arrest of a man on trafficking charges. 49-year-old Terry Lee McConaughey of Nottingham Road in Lincolnton was arrested Wednesday by Lincoln County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with trafficking methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl, and opiates. McConaughey is also charged with 6 counts of sale and delivery of a controlled substance, 4 counts of maintaining a dwelling for a controlled substance, possession with intent to sell and deliver ecstasy, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 5 counts of possession with intent to sell and deliver a controlled substance. In early July 2024, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office Narcotics Unit received numerous tips from the public that McConaughey was selling large quantities of narcotics through Lincoln County. During the investigation, the Narcotics Unit conducted hours of surveillance on the residence on Nottingham Road. Investigators stopped traffic leaving the residence and seized narcotics. They also made purchases from the residents. On Wednesday, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Narcotics Unit executed a search warrant on the residence. During the search, narcotics investigators seized 110 grams of methamphetamine, 192 grams of fentanyl, 20 grams of ecstasy, 15 grams of heroin, 3 grams of crack cocaine, and $1,400 in cash. McConaughey was placed in the Harvin A. Krause Detention Center under a $310,000 secured bond. A district court date is set for September 25th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY. A Lenore woman was arrested for trafficking in methamphetamine and heroin. 21-year-old Jordan Victoria Lee of Clark's Chapel Road in Lenore was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with 7 felonies, 2 counts possession with intent to sell or deliver Schedule II controlled substance, possession with intent to sell or deliver Schedule I controlled substance, maintaining a vehicle or dwelling for controlled substance, trafficking in opium or heroin, and trafficking in methamphetamine. Lee was jailed in the Caldwell County Detention Center under $50,000 secured bond. A district court date was scheduled for September 23rd. A registered sex offender is charged with being on or near child premises. 40-year-old Lisa Maria Meatyard of Lenore was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with felony sex offender at or near child premises. Meatyard has a previous conviction in Caldwell County from February 2021 for indecent liberties with a child. She was jailed under $40,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court appearance was scheduled for September 9th. And a Lenore man charged with drug possession, 53-year-old Johnny Darrell Mooney of Brixton Place in Lenore, was arrested on Monday by Lenore police officers. He was charged with 3 felonies, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver Schedule II controlled substance, maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for controlled substance, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, or deliver controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a park. Mooney was also charged with misdemeanor simple possession of Schedule VI controlled substance. He was jailed under $25,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for September 25th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
He was charged with felony counts of manufacturing a Schedule II controlled substance, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, that's methamphetamine, and maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for a controlled substance, as previously reported Wednesday by WHKY. On August 30th, probation and parole officers conducted a probationary search of Yancey's residence after receiving numerous citizens' complaints about suspicious activities there. The Burke County Sheriff's Office was called in to assist in the search. During the search, officers found obvious signs of narcotics manufacturing, including a blender with a white powdery residue that presumptively tested positive for fentanyl. Officers seized a total of 22 firearms and a large amount of ammunition. In addition, meth and fentanyl were found on Yancey's person. Yancey was initially jailed on a 48-hour hold. Bond has since been set at $40,000 secured. An appearance in court was scheduled Thursday, with another district court date coming up on September 24th in Morganton. 21-year-old Brett Patton Gladden of Taylorsville has been arrested by Alexander County Sheriff's officers On charges of felony robbery with a dangerous weapon and possession of a stolen firearm, a male juvenile was also detained. Gladden was taken into custody around midnight on Wednesday and jailed in the Alexander County Detention Center, where he is being held without bond. An appearance in district court is coming up on Monday. Thanks to WACB's Rick Gilbert for that information. That'll do it for our weekly look back at some of the crime stories we had for you over the past week, September 2 through 6. Look for the weekly recap every Saturday at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel, along with all the rest of the WHKY news. Thanks so much for joining us.